Hello everyone, welcome to Mr. Naylor's class. I'm Mr. Naylor, and today what we're going to learn about is how to write the range of a graph in both interval and set notation. So let's start off with something easy. Let's start off with a closed circle right here and an open circle right here. Now when we talk about the range, we don't need to worry about the x values. We don't need to worry about the x-axis. We don't need to worry about the words left and right. So we don't need to worry about any of these numbers right here on the x-axis. They are useless. All we need to do is worry about the numbers on the y-axis, the numbers that go up and down. Now when we read the range or the y values or the y-axis, we read from bottom to top. So we're going to start at the bottom and we're going to go up. Now if you look, the number -12, -11, -10, none of these numbers are on the graph. The graph doesn't start until we get to the number -2. So I'm going to write the number -2 first. And then I go all the way up. And these numbers are on the graph until we get to 3. So I'm going to write the number 3 next. So this is interval notation. So when I write an interval notation, I use either brackets or parentheses. When you have a closed circle, you're going to use a bracket like this. And when you have an open circle, you're going to use a parenthesis. That is my interval notation. Now my set notation, I'm basically going to do the same thing. I'm going to write the number -2 and 3, but in the middle, I'm going to put the variable y. The reason being is because we're using the y-axis. And now I'm going to include, since it's a closed circle, y is less than or equal to, y is greater than or equal to -2. Like 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. And y is less than the number 3. Closed circle, less than or equal to. Open circle, less than. If you write the smallest number on the left and the biggest number on the right, the arrows are always going to be going in the same direction. Let's take a look at another example. Let's say we have a closed circle right here, and then we have an open circle right here. So again, we don't need to worry about the numbers on the x-axis. We don't need to worry about going left to right. We want to focus on going from the bottom to the top, the numbers on the y-axis. I'm going to read going up. This is the, again, range. I want to find the range of this, but I want to write the range in interval notation. So there's 2 points here. I'm going to put the smallest one on the left and the biggest one on the right. The smallest one is +1. The biggest one is +6. Now again, interval notation has brackets and parentheses. Since it's a closed circle, I'm going to use a bracket. And since it's an open circle, I'm going to use a parenthesis. Now next, I'm going to do set notation. So again, I have 2 points. I'm going to put the smallest one on the left, the biggest one on the right. I'm going to put the variable y in the middle. And this is a closed circle, so y is greater than or equal to 1. Now here I have an open circle, so that means that y is less than 6. So this is set notation. Let's try another one. Let's say now we have something a little bit different. Let's say we have an open circle right here and it's going this way. And I want to first write that in interval notation. Now I have an arrow here. I don't have 2 points, I have 1 point and an arrow. So when you have an arrow, you need to start thinking about writing the symbol for infinity. That's a sideways number 8. So we have an open circle right here. I'm writing an interval notation. That means that I'm going to have a parentheses. So I'm going to start off with the number -3. Put a parentheses around it. And where's my -3 going? It's going up to infinity. It never stops. Now infinity has a parentheses around it as well. Reason being is because it doesn't stop. Now I'm going to write the next one in set notation. Set notation, I'm going to write the letter y is greater than -3. We don't know what y is, but we know that it's a number that's greater than -3, like -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and anything above this. We have 1 point, you put 1 point here. The previous two problems, we had 2 points, so we put 2 points. This one's a little bit different. Now another problem that's a little bit different would be if I had a graph that looked like this. Got a vertical line going straight up and down. Now we're going to write this one in interval notation. This one's a little bit different also. I got 2 arrows. When you see arrows, you always want to think there's going to be an infinity symbol somewhere. So where do we start at on the bottom? Well, there's no ending going down. So that means we got -infinity. Now, where do we stop going up? There is no stopping going up. That's positive infinity. I'm going to put parentheses around them both because you put parentheses around the infinity symbol. That's my interval notation. Now my set notation, I can't write y is greater than infinity, y is less than infinity, y is greater than or equal to any number. You can't write anything like that. So what you do instead is you write all real numbers. And what all real numbers means is that you can pick anything on the y-axis, and that's a solution. So again, interval notation, set notation for a vertical line. Now I'm going to do one, I'm going to write one on the board. I want you to try it too. I want you to press the pause button, see what you get, and then when you're finished, press the play button. I'll do it, and let's see if we get the same answer. Okay, let's take a look at this one. First thing I want to do is I want to write it in interval notation. That means I'm going to have parentheses and brackets. I don't have the infinity symbol because there's no arrow. There's 2 points. If I have 2 points, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the smallest point on the y-axis and then the biggest point on the y-axis. Remember, I'm reading from the bottom up. So the first number on the y-axis is 0. The biggest number on the y-axis is 5. Now I don't want you to think that, well, what about the -6? Don't worry about the -6. You're not worrying about the numbers on the x-axis. So you don't need to include the number -6. Now this is an open circle, it's got a parentheses. This is a closed circle, this is going to have a bracket. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write it in set notation. It's got 2 points, that means I'm going to write down 2 numbers. I'm going to write down the smallest number 0, the biggest number is 5. Now in the middle of them, you always write the letter y if you're looking for the range. So what am I going to put here? Y is a number that's bigger than 0, greater than 0. It's not greater than or equal to because it's an open circle, but y is also a number that's less than or equal to 5 because it's a closed circle. Thanks for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. And please hit the notification bell so you never miss another video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.